Scripture tells us that God has a plan for our lives. In Psalm 139, it gives this beautiful account how each one of us are designed for the days ahead of us, but it also tells us that the days ahead of us are designed for us. Scripture goes on to give this loving promise that those who enter into a relationship with God and walk in obedience, that God is working all things out for good to those who love and are called according to His purpose. That means in every situation, for those who walk in obedience to God, that there is purpose and there is goodness. But here's the truth. It doesn't always seem that way. Each one of us will have seasons in our lives where we find ourselves in places where the goodness and purpose of God are not as obvious. There will be seasons where we are overwhelmed and confused and where we feel distant from God, whether He has left us or we left Him. And there will be times that we wonder, what is God doing now? Well, here's the good promise that all of us have, that in every situation, God is working with purpose for us. The challenge for us is to discover in these places what God is doing. So here's my encouragement to you and my invitation, not just to you, but to you and your family and friends. I hope that you will join us over the next 5 weeks as we look at 5 places that we end up in our lives where God is trying to teach us something. The mountaintop, this place of joy. The valley, the place of despair and heartbreak and frustration. The desert where we are absolutely confused. The dark cliff where there's the unknown ahead of us. And lastly, the pit, where we find ourselves in failure and we wonder, where do we go from here? This series is going to be powerful and life-changing. So I hope not only are you there, but that you will have the confidence to invite family and friends so that they can hear the loving truth that God has a plan and a purpose for your lives. So this Sunday, it all begins. Don't miss out.